Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome again to our second day of celebration of International Translation Day. Today is a very special day for us. Not only we are celebrating International Translation Day, but also we are marking 10 years of success of ABIX Group International. Now, as you may have noticed, today is going to be different from yesterday. We are here as ABIX Group International, not just ABIX Legal Translation. Yesterday, we represented ABIX Group ABIX Legal Translation, but today, all about broader ABIX Group. Let me introduce you to ABIX Group. We are actually two sister companies, ABIX Legal Translation and ABIX Nile. While ABIX Legal Translation is specialized in legal localization and the professional translation services, ABIX Nile is dedicated to technology solutions from website and mobile application development to offering cutting-edge solutions in the tech world. ABIX Nile service companies worldwide. And it's not just about building websites and or applications. We develop our own products that help and support the growth of translators and translation companies. Our focus is on providing solutions that advance the translation industry. And today we are excited to showcase both of these sister companies as we celebrate 10 years of success with ABIX Group International. Before we get started, a quick reminder, if you would like to receive a CPT certificate, please respond to the email you will receive later today from events@abixnile.com to confirm your attendance. Certificates will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you again for joining us and have a lovely night with us. And now I'll hand over to Dr. Mohammed Amer. He will give you an amazing presentation about AI and authenticity of translation.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much, Elsa. It's gratifying to to see you for the second time. And every single time I give a talk on artificial intelligence, a technical issue happens. Don't know why. I think this is. I hope it's not a bad omen. So already bad things already happened. So now let's delve into happy things. So now let's start sharing the presentation. Could you please just enable me to screen share? That option, could you please enable it?
You are not co-host. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just logged out and then I got back. Yeah, here
no
we go.
problem.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in here. Okay, thanks. Technical issues as usual. So,
As usual.
okay. So I have the screen is clear now. Is it shared already? Okay, and I also will is this on the mode, the preview mode? I think it's okay, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for everything, and I'm really happy to be here for the second day in the celebration of Apex International Group for ITD, International Translation Day. And thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much, Elsa, for having me over. And one doesn't get the privilege to be here every day. It's a very happy day. And now let's delve more into more information and more events talk about artificial intelligence. And my presentation will actually talk about AI and its connection, whether direct or indirect, to translation authenticity. But first, let me seize this opportunity to introduce myself, because yesterday actually I didn't do that. And I discovered that I didn't introduce myself even after I finish my talk. So actually, let's talk more about this. So this is Mohammed Amer. I'm a lecturer of translation and interpreting at the Egyptian Russian University. I'm also a credit hour program lecturer at Cairo University. In addition to that, I'm an accredited translator and interpreter with experience of more than 14 years. Yes, I look young. I'm also a published translator of it's like 15 to 16. I'm still working on the 16th book. I'm participating annually in regional and international book fairs. So actually, you are invited to get a look on my books like next January in the Cairo International Book Fair. So you're welcome to. These are my contact information. This is my email address, my WhatsApp number, and also my LinkedIn. So actually, you're invited totally to talk to me anytime if you have any questions, any information that you need more. These are my information that you'd like to contact me on. So actually, Nancy, when you asked me to give a talk on this, I actually chose this particular topic because there is a total engagement between authenticity and integrity, because a lot of people they confuse between them. So let's first disentangle the connections. Let's talk more about authenticity first. Translation authenticity, when it's related to language translation and even interpreting, they refer to the degree to which a translated work accurately captures the meaning. So now we are talking about transferring one meaning from one language to another correctly and authenticity. So actually, we're talking about culture nuances that are correctly transferred from one country, from one culture to another, and also the intent of the original text as well. So this is more about authenticity. But how is this related to integrity? Because integrity actually relates more to keeping the principle of maintaining the fidelity, the accuracy, and also the ethical responsibility in the translation process. So integrity can actually be more related to how to practice translation, but authenticity, how to do translation, like in language, like in the writing process, like in the style, and so on. This is just a little introduction about what we're going to talk about today. It's very important to differentiate between authenticity and integrity in the beginning. However, in the time of AI, it's very entangled because a lot of information are there on the internet, and you cannot just verify whether this information piece of information is correct or not. When you use AI based tools, I'm not talking about cat tools or kind tools for translators and interpreters. Actually, I'm talking about uh, AI based tools. So when translators do these, they can actually take several steps to ensure that the accuracy and the integrity of translations are upheld, whether it's culturally correct or linguistically correct. Let's make sure that these products are delivered in the best form. So while these tools can greatly enhance productivity, it's very important that human translators, I'm talking about us, we remain actively involved in the translation process, because I have a lot of clients and a lot of also customers and translators. They depend on AI based tools. Actually, they are very intelligent tools, but uh, to be sure, these information delivered in the translation file, or the even in interpreting in an interpreting booth, or even in consecutive interpreting are correct, you need to put your human touch, like verifying the fact and fact checking and everything. So next, I'll give some practical strategies that I really depend on within my work in translation and the interpreting, and some best practices that I also focus on in order to maintain quality in my work. Actually, I'd like to reiterate this. This depends on, or this applies on translation and interpreting at the same time. Tip number one is that artificial intelligence is not just a substitute, it's a complement. It complements, and it really makes our work looks like complete, even if it's not. So AI can handle repetitive tasks, large volumes of expressions like words, huge text quickly, but it cannot fully replace human expertise in areas like creativity. And you do remember the times of using cat tools for the first time, and you think like it's like computers, no? It's getting my business and it's taking my role and it's doing everything instead of me. Actually, after that, we discovered it's the other way around. So actually, the same principle applies to artificial intelligence. So this is step number one. Translators need and they should view AI as a tool to assess their work, not as a replacement. And I have a lot of people asking me whether AI will take their places or not. Actually, it will never take your place as long as you adapt yourself to technology and to artificial intelligence. Step number two, concerning the maintaining the integrity and also the quality of your translation, is that you need to understand, yes, there are limitations to AI based tools. If you're using those AI based tools, whether they are free or prepaid, AI translation tools are like they are the tools that we depend on in order to qualify our translations to the level that we want to deliver at. So if you depended on DeepL or even Google Translate or other applications, I'm not just talking about the are just examples. You need to have to know that they have some limitations. So it's very important that you make sure that the idiomatic expressions, the cultural nuances, and also the specialized terminology that they are there. So also, this is the role of MTP, or the machine translation post editing. This is the role of post editing, which takes us to the third step, which is applying post-editing techniques. Uh, PE is the process of reviewing and refining AI-generated translations to ensure they meet professional standards. And I know a lot of young translators who just deliver their translations just like that. Yeah, that's taken from AI, and it's good translation, by the way. It's accepted, but actually they are not humanized. They are not just perfect as we want them to or to be. One more step is to verify the context and meaning, because a lot of, as I told you before, like expressions, idiomatic expressions, and a lot of phrases and sentences that can be cultural. So if you did not verify the context and meaning, you will be just lost in translation. So AI translation tools tend to lack contextual awareness. They do not know the awareness, or they do not know the context that you are talking about. So when you translate one sentence or a phrase level, sometimes AI loses the overall meaning or the flow of a larger text. So actually, especially in Arabic, because actually Arabic sentences, they depend on more sentences and longer sentences than English. So when you translate this text from English into Arabic, it's widely more difficult than translating from Arabic into English, and it also depends on the algorithms. Um, Also, I'm now doing a research on AlgoSpeak, and AlgoSpeak actually is very important element that we depend on when we talk about some some issues, or some principles, and some topics that can be sensitive culturally, or gender wise, or with some information that cannot be dealt with online. So if you understood the language of the algorithms, and also using AlgoSpeak in dealing with this, so actually your translation actually will be much more understandable. um, these are some of the best practices that I depend on in maintaining quality of translation, because many AI-based translation tools, they allow us to use custom glossaries and style guides. So if you do not have these glossaries at home, or I always depend on certain glossaries that can be my own design, or they can just be downloaded or purchased online. However, when you depend on those glossaries, if they are verified, if they are accurate enough, especially when working on translations in specialized fields like medical, like legal, like healthcare, and so on, you need to depend on glossaries every single time when using recurrent terminology, in order to provide yourself with more integrity and accuracy. Sorry. Um, Also, another very important thing, which is using AI translation tools constantly. You need to know that they are evolving, and you're not. So if you are only depending on AI to help you every single time, and you're not professionally developing yourself, uh, you will find yourself like lost in translation. These tools are more developed than you, so you actually will be depending on them more than they depend on you. So actually, when we use the word feed, you feed these tools. So actually, AI depends on us. So it's not like the other way around. So with frequent updates, improving your accuracy, efficiency, and customizing capabilities, you will be the one responsible for maintaining the quality of translations, whether they are AI generated, or if they are also human translations. Um, some steps that help me to mitigate errors and mistakes in AI translations can involve using specialized glossaries. Yes, I have this big folder, huge folder that's full of glossaries all over the world, and from different languages. Not like I'm working in my language, but it is Arabic and English, English and Arabic. But actually, I have different glossaries in different languages, because some terminology can be borrowed from the different languages. But when you delve into this folder, and I hope I have the ability to share this folder with you, but let me describe it to you. I have this folder that's huge, full of glossaries from every single science branch all over the world, like medicine, and within medicine we have subsections, and law, politics, urban development, environment, every single, and of course IT and technology. So using specialized glossary has been helping me like to mitigate some errors in when I do the editing for the AI translation, and also in interpreting, because before going into an interpreting booth, you need uh, to make sure that your vocabulary are refreshed and are in in the same time actually they can be used. So this actually will ensure also the important terminology is translated accurately, because there is a difference between ecosystems and environmental systems. There's a difference between one section here in medicine and another one. So also this is very important. Choosing the right MT system, the machine translation system, so it's not like we're using Trados, we're using MimicU or WhatFast or XTM. So it's not like we're just using a random empty systems. You need to make sure that you test multiple empty engines, like evaluating different engines like Google Translate. I'm talking about artificial intelligence, of course, DeepL, Amazon Translate. Also, this applies to CAT tools as well. So it's not like randomly I have this software that I can use to multiple texts. No, it's not like that. You need to test every single text to every single AI tool. This is very important to make sure that you get the best result. Maintaining a translation memory, which is my old school. Actually, I have this folder as well that it contains a lot of translation memories. So do not just evolve a lot of translation memories within one file and then delete those notes. Not like that. I have these files like 14 years ago and still developing and enriching them with a lot of vocabulary and words. So using a translation memory system can be integrated with the MT engine like Trados or MAQ, for example, to store approved translations. I'm talking about only approved translations. So it's like you are refining and fine-tuning all of these TMs all the time. Finally, which is very important, like ensuring data security and privacy. Sorry about that. This is very important because we depend on a lot of documents and files that we translate, and they mention like names, figures, numbers, addresses, locations, and a lot of information that can be very confidential. So a lot of translators do not even know the idea of signing an NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement. This is very important, but it's within your chest. You need to establish some confidentiality and some protocols that are related to integrity and authenticity of your translation. So do not leak information, do not make information leaked. And actually, if you did that, you need to know that there will be consequences. Um, how I view some authentic, how well next 10 years, not talking about only 5 years, like 10 years on an authentic translation and also accurate translation can be. Um, Number one, there will be a dependence on increased human AI collaboration. Yes, it's not like AI will take our places. No, this will never happen. I wish for my lifetime, because I do not want to stay at home without work. But actually, you also need to know that I expect that humans will eventually depend more on AI generated translations. We will depend more on that. However, our role will never be replaceable. So a collaboration between both sides will be a must. Number two, also AI access the translation ecosystems will be very necessary. Like AI will help us like tailoring human translations to surrounding ecosystems. Like people here in the Middle East will translate certain types of texts, and people in Europe or America or other regions or places actually will also be expert in different texts or different type of projects or documents. Some more strict ethical considerations and human oversight will be very important. Actually, this will surely keep oversighting AI translations to make sure they comply with the humanized standards and everything. Finally, this is very important. Like the rise of translation as a service, like task platforms. A lot of people do not know that a lot of websites and localization and gamification websites are being translated from one language to another. So these can be considered as a platforms that depend on providing services. It's not like we're just translating these documents or files like that. No, every single type of translation has its own name. So in the future, it will have its own platform. Um, finally, I'd like to tell you more about AI-powered voice translation, which I'm pretty sure that they will be very, very handy in the future because uh, dealing with interpreting, dealing with translation and consecutive interpreting and simultaneous interpreting, we will be able, and I hope Mike is here today to agree with me on this, because if you are generating captions on the screen, actually, Mike, this will help us like quickly doing interpreting after quick speakers. And I know he is in the booth right now after a Chinese speaker, and this man is very quick. So actually, if you have this AI powered voice translation, Mike, you'll be able to generate captions on a screen, and just you'll be doing site interpreting, and also not only site interpreting but also simultaneous and consecutive interpreting on a screen. Nancy, I think I'm done here. So allow me in the at the end. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and these are my contact me information, like my phone number, LinkedIn, email address, and also my address here in Egypt. Really happy that I participated in this, and I hope that I shared some valuable information. I think I hope they are valuable to all of you. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Nancy, for this opportunity.
My pleasure, my pleasure. It was wonderful presentation, Doctor. Thank you so
Th-
much for
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
that. Okay, and now I'll give the floor to my co-host and wonderful speaker, Elsa.
All right, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever you are in the world. So I will have a very quick intervention about something different, a little bit different, but that is also linked to this fear that a lot of us have from AI, from machine replacing the human beings, where we stand, what should we do, what's the solution. So let me please take a moment to share my screen. So it's very quick. I promise I won't be talking too much because later on we will have some really, really good tea to spill. So overcoming the fear of AI and even maybe human competition. Let me tell you one thing. This fear of machine is no different than the fear of another human being virtually replacing us, or figuratively speaking, because basically any human being is unique and no one is replaceable. So my plan for today is just to tell you a little bit of my story and who am I to speak mindset, how to build confidence, and so mythbusters related to confidence, to fear, to some classical concepts that we've learned throughout our life and now that are not applicable anymore. And the solution of it, which is to think like an entrepreneur, and I will tell you more about that. And it's very important to understand that our purpose is to help others and to be the most human being possible. And I will explain that later on. So, who am I? I am a professional interpreter, Arabic, English, and French since 2014. I graduated as a translator in 2011 and then continued my diploma until 2014 for 2 years. I am also a member of the CIOL, the Chartered Institute of Linguists. I am a chartered linguist. I am an interpreter. I am a member. I am a translator. I am also an educator who is also chartered. So this is something that's related to my translation career, but many of you also know that I also have another hat that I am equally passionate about, and that actually translators and interpreters and the challenges we face in our career made me do eventually. So I've been through a huge transformation a year and a half ago, now going for 2 years and counting. And this is why I decided to study life coaching. And now I am also a fully accredited coaching master from the Coaching Masters and the International Authority for Professional Coaching and Mentoring, and working on my International Coaching Federation accreditation, or the ICF accreditation. So we work extensively on things related to self-sabotage, confidence, fear, and a lot of other things. But this is a topic for another event. Overcoming fear, some mythbusters here. When we say, I prefer to keep low profile, it doesn't mean that this is part of my character always. A lot of it comes back to programming that we had since our childhood even, and then it continued to grow with us. And so we thought it was part of our character, but it's not. I am too shy. I am too reserved. A lot of it may be also the result of fear of rejection, fear of putting ourselves out there. And it's something very common, especially in the translation and interpretation community. I am noticing that a big part of our translation and interpreting community have this, let me keep it low profile. I just prefer to stay with my screen, behind my screen, just doing my job and just playing it, let's say, very low profile, safe, whatever it is. A lot of other people are much more extroverted, which is why not? But this is a big part of it that I'm seeing, and that actually I was like wondering why. And I also remember that a lot of times this comes from our training as translators and also as interpreters. Remember, as interpreters, or even as translators, but since I am an interpreter, it really is more obvious to me. So they would tell us we are just the voice of the speaker, rightfully so. Just for the record, we just sit in our booth. We don't talk too much to clients. We don't mingle too much, and sometimes this is badly seen. And I'm here to tell you that this, at the long run, is not sustainable. So we will have to know which balance to strike in that context. Let my work speak for me. A lot of times we hear it, and not only as translators and interpreters, but also as any other businessman. But this is something that also doesn't have to be true all the time. If people don't know, like, and trust you, you will not be able to grow and to do business. You may get to some sort of point, but then if you want to scale up, things have to change, and the mindset itself has to change. I'm not tech savvy. Fundamental mistake. We cannot be not tech savvy, because if we don't progress, this means that we're not staying right where we are. We are actually regressing. The market is saturated. I also hear that a lot, even from our instructors, actually. And I would say now, after years and years of experience, yes, the market is saturated because you prefer to stay average. And it's so easy to replace those people who do not stand out. I don't have the money. This course is too expensive. This is too much. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. You don't have the money because you don't know how to deal with money. And you don't know which investment should come first. The first investment is an investment in yourself. It's an investment in how to develop, in how to stand out, in how to make me, and how to make myself known for the others, for that when I am needed, I'm ready. And people, I am on the top of the head of people so that they can call me whenever there's a need. I work for a living. And this is like a little bit of a surprise for so many of us. It was a surprise, certainly for me when I learned it. It's a fundamentally wrong sentence to say. We don't work for money. And if we work for money, we are bound to stay where we are for a very, very, very too long time, even. So these are some of the mythbusters that we were trained and programmed since our childhood to follow. Why? Because we start our life, our calendars, our schedules are already prepared for us. We go to kindergarten, then we go to school, then we go to the university, then we study and we do all that and we get good grades. How do we get good grades? When we satisfy the professor or the teacher or the doctor or whatever you want to call them. And then what happens? This pattern is also transferred to the job. Get a good job, a good paying job with let your managers be happy with you. Be successful in your test, pass your test, whatever this test might be. And here you are. You just go through the loop from the beginning till the end. What happens? We might lose our life in the process. So, and we lose our jobs for competition. It can be machine, it can be any other thing. So what the solution is? The solution is to think different and to think like an entrepreneur and not like an employee. It's an entire shift of mindset. And we will talk about that more. We have a panel discussion that's going to be on fire. And then you will understand more what I'm saying. So stay tuned for it. Shift that mindset. We work for a living. Actually, a living or money, for that sake, is a byproduct of us being as human as we possibly can. This means service is senior to selling. I make a living because I am helping people. I am being human. I'm standing out for a group of people that I know I can serve. And this group of people is called my niche. This is very, very important. Second, people tend to buy, let's use the term buy, from someone they know, like, and trust. Building authority, marketing, and being of a real help for people. This is what would help. And this is why they tell us, be a good interpreter and you will get more work. Because it comes from here, it comes from authority, it comes from someone they know, like, and trust. But people have to know about you first. So we cannot stand in the background and say, hey, I'm so reserved or I'm so shy. People have to know what I do. Third, machine is made so that you become more human. Take advantage of it. What does that mean? Machine is used basically to make my life easier, so that I'm not all the time focusing on repetitive things that need to be done, but I have to solve more complex problems. So when this part is taken care of, I can focus on what's more human and what makes me a human being. And this is it's a complete detachment from the training that we received and the programming that we received from our childhood. Instead of doing the repetitive things, sitting at the desk for 8 hours, listening to someone just hammering us with information, now we are getting creative, now we are getting solutions. Again, think like an entrepreneur, not like the employees we were programmed to be. Remember this formula of how our life was programmed all the way through. Very important thing, turn the problem into opportunity. So instead of asking, how could this happen to me? How could I? How could how could he do this to me, etc.? Think, how can I make it happen for me? We cannot escape the reality of AI or something else. AI is something else, and we will be talking about it. And say, how did machine learning happen to me? And I have to think, how can I make it work for me? And also here, there's a lot of things that we are still not aware of and that we will learn during the upcoming discussion. A successful entrepreneur is someone who stays curious, who asks plenty of questions. And this is why CPD is very important. We work to learn. We work to learn. The more we learn, the better the problems we can solve, the better information we can provide, the more complex things we are able and capable to do, the more irreplaceable we are. So these two elements are very connected, with that and that. And so, yes, I went very quickly through this because there would be a focus on what's upcoming, but these are of the essence. The mindset shift should happen rather right now, not in a minute, not in a day, not in a 3 years. It should start right now because we are coming to different times. And thank you so much for your kind attention. And thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Elsa. Thank you. It was really inspiring. Okay. I have a quick update regarding our agenda. Initially, I was scheduled to speak about the power of continuous professional development, while I'll cover that topic briefly, as we don't have enough time today, as we also have a surprise update. A very insightful speaker will be joining us today, and I'll introduce him later. As for my part, let's talk about CPD. I'm sure you all are aware of that. CPD stands for Continuous Professional Development, which is vital for translators and interpreters, as well as for professionals in various sectors. And my main advice today that you need to record your CPD and, of course, to increase your hours, because it's dynamic and evolving a profession like ours. CPD is not just important, it's essential. It ensures we remain competitive, knowledgeable, and prepared for the rapidly changing demands of the translation and interpreting the industry. CPD helps us stay current with industry changes. It's crucial that we continually develop our skills and knowledge. It's not only about the education you received in university, it's about investing in yourself and your learning journey. When updating your CV, it's important not only to list your degrees and experiences, but also to include your CPD records. For example, if you attended a 2-hour webinar celebrating International Translation Day with APEX Group International in August 2023, for example, make sure to mention that in your records. Ideally, you should aim to have at least 30 hours of CPD each year to keep up with industry trends. CPD also enhances the quality of our work. It's not merely about acquiring new information, it's about refining and perfecting our skills. Translation and interpretation are both an art and science, requiring a blend of linguistic expertise and cultural understanding. By engaging in workshops, seminars, certifications, and courses, we can continue to own our craft, ensuring the highest standard of quality and precision in our work. Moreover, CPD opens the door to new opportunities. The more we invest in our skills, the broader our career horizons become. Specializing in new fields, learning to use emerging translation technologies, or improving our marketing strategies can make us more attractive to clients, agencies, and employers. CPD enhances our resilience in an increasingly competitive marketplace. Additionally, CPD allows us to master technology and technology, of course, playing an ever-growing role in our profession, from computer-assisted translation, CAT tools, to machine translation and AI systems, and so on. Engaging in CPD ensures that we can harness these tools rather than feel threatened by them. By learning to integrate them into our workflows, we can improve efficiency and expand our service offering and enhance the quality of our translation and interpretation. Lastly, CPD fosters a sense of community and collaboration. When we attend CPD events, participate in webinars, or engage with professional networks, we don't just learn, we build a relationship with others in our field, which is very important also. Thank you for for your attention, and I look forward to hearing from our expert speaker later on. And now let's go for panel discussion time. So our panelist is here. Oh, please open your cameras. Mr. Mustafa, Ms. Yusra. Yeah. Today, we are going to dive into something that's been on everyone's mind: AI versus translators or interpreters. Yesterday, we heard from we heard some fantastic opinions actually from many of you on this topic. Some of you felt that AI has a real place in our profession, and others were likely no. And some believed we can work alongside with AI, but still remain in control. It was actually my opinion. But today we are taking this conversation to the next level. We will be examining the issue from a new perspective, the tech perspective. We want to understand the problem from the viewpoint of technology experts to really see how AI is evolving and what it means for our profession. And to help us explore this tech perspective, we are honored to have with us an amazing tech expert, engineer Mustafa Nasr. Mustafa will be joining us on the panel and bringing a fresh and expert opinion about whether AI can replace human beings in the field of translation and interpretation. Does AI have the potential to replace us, or can we coexist and work together for mutual benefit? Mustafa will change our opinions today, maybe with his insights, and this is where the conversation gets really interesting. So let's welcome Mustafa. Hi, Mustafa. Hello. You are not co-host, sorry. Okay, you can unmute yourself now. And I would like to ask you a question, Mustafa, first.
Hi, Nancy. First of all, I'm so sorry for that. I tried just to unmute myself, but
it's my fault.
sorry about that.
It's my fault.
So first of all, hi everyone, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this wonderful evening. And happy International Translation Day, and happy anniversary for Apex. And I'm so glad and I'm so proud to be part of this community, and I'm so proud to be part of Apex Group International. Let me first of all introduce myself briefly. I'm Mustafa Nasr, I'm a computer system engineer, and right now I'm working as a software solution architect for Apex Nile. And yeah, that's it. So first of all, I'm supposed to say a speech for like 5 minutes as everyone else, but after everyone said, especially Dr. Muhammad and Elsa, and thank you, Elsa, for this Rich Dad Poor Dad talk. I like it a lot, and I like that book. And Dr. Muhammad, thank you, I appreciate for your talk. It was like wonderful, and you cover a lot of things, a lot of important things.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So I think my talk is going to be like rubbish at, so just throw it away and we can get deep into it. And I'm here to debate who's going to win, technology or translators.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. I was excited from the first moment for that talk because Actually, we had a conversation, Mustafa and I,
Yeah, we
before
always had
coming
that
here.
together. Yeah. By the way, let me introduce. Let me say something about Elsa and me. We are always like, what is that? Two magnet play, and we also thought about it. Like in every and each topic, I'm always the evil guy in her stories, and she's trying to be a good, nice person. And actually, I'm here to represent the evil side of the technology. So yeah.
Well, why not? And that's very true. We were like, I don't know if they can call it cat and dog with that, but it's amazing, and it actually opened my eyes to so many new things. And I know that today we're going to be hammered with questions. So please help me hammer him with questions. Hey, you have the opportunity. Please use it. And it's really, really amazing to have you here, Mustafa. And so what is all this AI all about?
Okay, so let me take it from here. Let me tell you a funny story. First of all, there is a misconception regarding the AI. AI and machine learning is totally not totally different things, but they are related but not related. Like machine learning is part of AI, but AI is like the wider concept of machine learning. Let's conclude both of them into like some kind of small sentences. Like AI is more like where is that? AI is all about creating machines that can think and act like humans. It covers a lot of things like solving problems, making decisions, of course, understanding the language itself. Machine learning, on the other hand, is just one part of AI. It's what allows machine to learn from data and get better at tasks over time without someone having to program every little details on it. So AI is the bigger picture of it, and machine learning is one way of getting over there. But to cutting short, most of things and most of tools that you are using nowadays, it's machine learning, it's not AI. As AI is supposed to be programs to take its own decision. It's like from my own perspective, I think about AI is like a machine that can act by its own self, can take its own decision, can learn from its own mistakes and learn from its own experience, and just puts a lot of underlines under its own. Machine learning, it's totally a different story. It's the simplest computer science concept. Like, what's computer in the first place? Computer is a machine that you give it to it an input, and you're expecting an output regarding this input that you put on it. Machine learning is working on the same exactly way. You feed in it with like a big data and a big prompt engineering stuff, and after that, he will give you an output according to the data that you're asking it to it, or the things that you answer. But machine learning itself, they don't have the ability to take a decision, to do a creativity thing, to give you something out of the box. Like I can remember me and you, Elsa, remember before this meeting, we've been talking about AI hallucination. And yeah, allow me to just give you an example about AI hallucination. First of all, what is the AI hallucination? It's a paradox for AI that when you ask him something, or when you ask it something, it will reply with another answer. It's out of this world. Why that happened in the first place? It's mainly because you're asking for some kind of information. It's not exist on its learning model. So we can know from that machine learning itself don't have the ability to think, to give you an answer that he don't know. He can't even have the ability to tell you that I don't know, because it's only an advanced searching tools. It's simply they have a big data or a big dictionary, let's say it, and when you ask the machine learning something, it will go through all that thing, it's all that data on its database, and it will collect one of the answers and just throw it on the table. That's it.
What else? What else? We have a lot to talk about. I remember like looking at my notes and I'm like, oh
Yeah, where to
my
start?
God. That was an amazing conversation. And thank you for explaining AI hallucinations, because we've heard it yesterday, but we didn't have really the chance to understand what it was and actually understand that it was a totally wrong answer, like an answer that has nothing to do with what I wanted to have. So, and this is a question I would like to.
Sorry to interrupt you, but just let me get a little bit deeper about AI hallucination, just to be specific. Like AI hallucination can happen because of a lot of things. Like one of them that I just mentioned, and it's not the only thing that can happen to AI. There is a lot of paradox. It can affect the AI. Like first of all, they don't have the exact information that you're looking for. Secondly, the prompt itself that you are trying to ask, or how you are asking the AI itself, can cause an AI hallucination. The amount of computer power that AI is consuming, and whether it have that ability to give you the answer or not, this is also can cause an AI hallucination. So there's a lot of factors can affect and apply on AI itself. And even the machine learning, just forget about AI. I don't like to talk about this topic and with the AI, what is that idiom? It's machine learning, guys. Come on, AI is just a marketing name they call it on it, just to know how to market it, because machine learning is not a fancy word enough for people to catch it and start run toward it. So they found like AI is more marketing attractive. That's it. It's simply like that.
Wow. I mean, that's a complete, let's say, detachment from also something that we thought it was like a given. Oh yeah, that there is artificial intelligence, so something that thinks just like a human thinks, and we are training this human being. Oh, about training this human being, like this pseudo human being. There is something very important I would like to ask you, and I would like also to ask Yusra, our beautiful panelist as well. It's that, to which extent will the human being be able to train or have the upper hand over this AI or this machine learning thing, and to it? I mean, where is the limit at the end? So if we think about it, 4 years, 5 years later, 10 years, and going further, what will happen then?
Well, I see that. Hello, everyone, first. Um, Actually, AI always needs our supervision. Okay. We can't, for example, we have this mindset and this understanding of the context. I'll speak for translation wise, actually. So we have this cultural understanding. And when there is something like a complex context, like Mr. Mustafa has just said, I can ask the question for a translation, for example. Yes, it may give me the answer, but maybe it's not related to the context itself, especially when I'm talking about complex branches of translation, such as the medical and legal one. So I don't think it can work without human understanding. Yes, of course, it's a challenge, but it needs us, because this is related to how we understand the context of the text, for example. And I don't think it will be replacing the human being.
Okay, let me
Thanks,
take
Yusra.
it from here. First of all, Elsa, you ask a very complex question. It's not like one single question. There's deep into it, it's multiple questions. So let's take it one by one. First of all, how AI or machine learning will be in 5 years and 10 years. Those are two questions, actually. One of them, 5 years. 5 years, this is like short time in human years comparing to our civilization. But into technology, this is like a tremendous amount of time. And secondly, after 10 years, 20 years, something like that. Let's take the easy answer first, after 20 years or 10 years, 15 years, something like that. It will be normal. It will be like machinery. Like, can you imagine right now that you have a factory? It's all handmade stuff. Can you build a car with your own hands? Of course not. Like everyone is using machine and everything. Even for your coffee, you can do your coffee by machine, a coffee machine or something like that. Like most of us are not going to the store right now and prepare his own coffee. And everyone like depend deeply into machinery. So after 10 years, 20 years, something like that, AI will be like, or machine learning will be like any other machine, or hopefully it will be like that. Let's take the other complex answer. It's like after 5 years, what's going to happen after 5 years or 3 years, especially like technology, as I said before, it's evolving tremendously fast. So after a couple of years, we have this paradox in history. If you go back a little bit in history at the Industrial Revolution, everyone was using his own hands to make like a handmade products. And after that, engineers start to manipulate people. And as I told you before, I'm the evil side over here. Engineers always evil. So engineers went to the handmade guys and start to convince them how to learn or how they are doing those products in order for them to simulate the human workflow. Let's name it like that. So after a couple of years, when the first machine invented, we have this paradox, exactly same paradox that we are facing right now. We start being on the side, like we have some people, they don't believe in machinery and they thought that machinery will replace them completely. And there is another people that thought that, yeah, machine will replace us, but not right now. So we were not gonna be live enough to witness that era. And there's some people also with the machinery, and yeah, that will ease our life. But actually, that was like the wrong question, and we should learn from our history. This is not the right question. The right question is like, if we look closely through our civilization, humans always try to make their life easier and more comfortable. And to face that smartly enough, you need to, I'm not going to tell you adopt, but just to work with the flow, just to use that flow in your side. So what's make us human? This is the most important thing that we always forget about. It's creativity. It's simply like that. Machine can replace you in everything, but not in the creativity. And don't tell me like, yeah, machine can paint a paint or do a statue or do some kind of art or no, it's not like that. Like machine can only imitate human, but the core creativity of humanity, they can't do it. So rather focusing on how to face the machine or how to go against the machine or how to go with the machine, we need to focus how to be more productive, how to be more creative. This is the most important thing. For Yusra, I would like to add one simple statement that she said, and also Dr. Muhammad said. It was like a very lovely statement, and that's translation, and translators should focus on. Machine can replace you in a lot of fields, especially in translation, because yeah, translation is very simple enough for machine to understand it, if we can put it in that word. But machine can never replace you for understanding the language itself. Like for example, the localization. If I want to, like, let me give you, what is it? A real example. I'm building a website, and this website is supposed to be an English Arabic website. It's very easy to go to Nexus, for example, and just type the English word, and he will translate it with the AI into Arabic and just implement it to website, and that's it. It will be Arabic, it will be readable, it will be perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. But for the native Arabic speaker, especially Arabic, or not especially Arabic, because English, facing the same paradox, like for English and Arabic, because there's different countries speaking the same English and the same Arabic, but with different idioms and different accents and different meaning for the same words. Like for Egyptian, for example, we have our own idioms, we have our own local words. Like in over here in UAE, like they have their own idiom, their own sentence, and their own expressions. Machine can never replace that, because machine will not gonna understand every and each group of people talking, and especially in language, because language is evolving same as technology. Like every couple of days we are evolving and inventing a new words out of the box. It wasn't there, and we get rid of an old words, like even English or Arabic. Like let me ask Dr. Dr. Muhammad, if you start reading for Macbeth, for example, with an old English, will you have a fully understanding as if you read a new novel from this?
Of course not. Of course not, because this is old English and this is modern. Actually, it will be totally different. It will be totally different because it's difference of like more than 300 years. So actually, language evolves more than like every single day. So can you actually consider like 300 years ago? So actually, it's a long duration.
Exactly. Machine will not gonna understand that part of us.
Sure.
That part of us of being human, of our emotional intelligence. Machine will never replace on in that
And
side.
by the way, Mustafa, I totally agree with that, because actually, if you got this word like the word feed and the word prompt, so actually these are the things that you write to the machine in order to provide you with evidence, with information, with results and everything. So actually, if you focus on the word, it's like feed. You are giving him the information. It's not like the other way around. It's you. It's
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
You are the creator of this information. It's like
Yeah, but
facilitated
let
by
me
the
tell you
machine,
something in this part. Let me tell
not
you
the other way
something.
around. Yeah,
Exactly,
exactly.
but let me tell you something. First of all, prompt or prompt engineering, this is a new field just come out of the sky
Yeah.
because this AI hallucination that we're living at. And feeding the AI itself, this is another paradox. And this is the main problem in the whole story itself. If you want to understand the big picture of it, let me put it into an example. Imagine that Dr. Muhammad is working as a translator and he's taking, like, for example, 10 grand per month, and he's working 8 hours daily. And the company always evil, so they want to cut the expenses. And the short answer is, let's fire Muhammad. But the problem, who gonna replace Muhammad? So they hire Mustafa. And the interview, Elsa told me, Mustafa, how long can you work per day? And I told her, it's okay, 24 hours. How much would you take per month? And I was like, 2 grand would be fine for you. So Elsa was so fascinated about that, right? She saved a lot. And of course, I'm going to work triple and force the productivity that you were producing. But the problem now, I'm not qualified enough as Dr. Muhammad. So how can we solve that?
Exactly.
That's it. So Elsa wanted to work around it. So she went to Dr. Muhammad and tell him, please, I'm going to hire a junior under you. Would you please do some kind of handover to him? And Dr. Muhammad, he's so kind and so naive. And he was like, oh, finally, they give me someone junior who's going to help me in my work, right? And he starts feeding me with his knowledge and his information. But the problem, and that's the problem, after a while, I'm going to exceed Dr. Muhammad because I'm working 24 hours and a way less than Dr. Muhammad. That's actually
if that person exceeded me, that will be very happy to me, because actually I did that to him. It was because of me.
Exactly.
It's because of me.
Exactly.
It's not like yes, he's smart that he exceeded, but actually he wouldn't do that without the guidance.
Exactly.
So this
That's
is the
the
essence.
paradox. That's the paradox that we're living right now. So what big companies are trying to do, they sit together and so they were like, we fed off of human. How we replace human with machinery? But the problem, we have the machine, but we don't have the acquire information to replace the humans. So they thought about it. Okay, let's give them the AI. Let's give them the machine learning. They will run after it. They will start feeding them. He will learn. He will evolve. And after that, we're going to replace them. And even though, let me tell you something further. Like I was speaking with Elsa regarding this. Whatever thing is free, so you are the product. Correct. Let's all agree on that. There is nothing free. Like Facebook or Google, AWS, Amazon, they were not gonna spend trillions of dollars to invest into machine learning or AI just because to save the environment or to save humanity from its disaster. That will not gonna happen, and that's not true. That's not even ethically true. They are evil enough. So they want to give you the free product because it's not the product. You are the product itself.
Exactly.
And even though let's give you even more evil thing, there is even companies that thought it in another way. They will hire you for some amount of money, and there's a lot of websites out there, and fortunately people start to working on that as a freelancer. They go to that website, just sign in or sign up and put your bank details, and the website will start give you paradox into your field of expertise, and you solve it. And after you solve it, they will give you some amount of cash. But they take that amount of data and they feed it to the machine learning, and the machine learning start to be smarter than you. So whatever happen in the future, it's by our own hands.
Great. Thank you so much, Mustafa, for this. Actually, speaking of prompts and prompts engineering, actually, this is very exciting because you told me that there's a wide difference between feed and prompt. I'm now participating in a linguistic project that actually focuses on how when we just replace linguistic elements within one sentence to another sentence in a prompt, in when we do prompts like doing trivial things like we do the images in Ramadan, in Eid, celebrating and so on. We create a lot of stuff. But actually, if this happens professionally, when you put one sentence as a prompt, like could you please provide me with a design that shows me as a professional translator or interpreter sitting in a booth. So the study focuses more on when we change one pronoun, one subjective, one objective. Actually, I'd like you to tell me more how or to what extent this will be critical in providing me with a much better result. Because I can write one sentence, it provides me with a result, and another sentence that gives the same meaning, and it gives me a totally different result. So, is there a certain way to write a prompt
Okay,
in a simple sentence? Yeah,
let me first of all explain to you what's the difference between feeding the AI and machine learning.
yeah,
And, what is it? The prompt engineering. And before
yeah,
talking to that, let me answer Erin, right? So she's asking, AI can't handle local slang or verses. Why shouldn't AI able to learn that? Simply because we are evolving more than AI, and there is a lot of talk between a certain group that we're not going to go beyond that certain group, especially in slang language. Or like, let me tell you a real example. Before computer invented, computer word itself, it wasn't over there. When they invent something, that computer word, it came out of nowhere. We invented that word itself. So you're not going to be able to feed the machine learning fast enough for each and every word that come up with each and every day. If you want a straightforward answer, try to speak to the younger. If you go to the younger ages, like 13, 14, you're not going to be able to understand them fully. They have their own idioms, and even younger and younger and younger, and everything that will be evolving like that. But I'm not exposed to any Spanish time or Madrid, but social media and machine is see. Machine learning is taking it from the social media, that's true, and taking it from all the website, the forums, and over that and all that. And machine learning is feeding on a huge amount of data, more than I can explain and more than can you imagine. But still, it will be that part of us as a human, machine will not gonna understand it in term of language, in term of localizing the thing itself. Machine language is complex enough for machine to understand it. So it's from my own perspective that machine can solve a lot of problems, but language is not one of them. At least for now. And especially in the future, because of the security and privacy thing, people will start invent some kind of words that machine will not gonna be able to identify, and people will be doing that because they don't want machine to identify those kind of words, because after that machine will be involved in a lot of things in your cell phone, into that, on that, on that, and that, and police will start recording those phone calls and take the buzzwords and the keywords and feed into the machine, so they try to predict the incident before it's happened and all that. So gangs will try to invent another word so that the machine will not gonna be identified. This is a long and complex topic and paradox. We can't just judge it, or we can't just say it into our opinion. We just can leave it to the history or to the future to tell. It's simply that. But people intelligent enough so they can work around machinery, and people are evil enough so they can work around machinery, so machinery will not going to detect every and single word that we're saying. So back to our topic.
Sure.
Dr. Muhammad, so the difference between prompt engineering and feeding the machinery, let me tell you, let me try to explain how machine learning is working. Behind the scene, there's an algorithm. That algorithm, it's like if or not if. Let me take it into, let me simplify it. It's same like a search machine, like Google search. And they have two database to look for. The first one, the prompt. The second one, the database itself or the information itself. So whatever happened, that we are feeding the machine learning, so you are feeding it with the information. And when you are trying to prompt the machine itself, so you are prompt it with some kind of sentence that he need to know. When I write that sentence, you need to look for that kind of information. So why the AI is giving two different answers for the same question?
Exactly. This is the question.
Yeah, this is the question. Because machine learning is not taking your whole prompt and search for the whole prompt itself and give you the exact same answer like Google. No, it's not like that. Machine learning is taking that prompt, and after that, he just split that prompts into smaller and smaller words. And after that, he take each and every words and look into his database and try to see the matched answer with that words and give you the most matched answer that he look at this time with his computing power that is available in this time. The time you ask him the same question with the same prompt, he will do the same process from beginning, and each time it have its own environment. So that's why each time he will give you a totally different answer. And this is why we can depend on the machine learning into critical thinking.
And I think the same rule actually applies to translation and to especially translation, because I've been working in the university, and throughout the last few years, I've been like giving an assignment, a passage in Arabic or in English, and I ask my students to translate. And next time, of course, they use AI. They don't depend on their human translation as usual. So when they bring me these translations, it's like they used the same machine, they used the same application, and we have two different versions of translation, the target translation. So it's like Muhammad and Mustafa, and Muhammad just got one translation out of the same application, and it was the same by Mustafa, but in different words. So this actually gives us a very, very important red alert here, is that once upon a time you will never be able to like detect who cheats on who uses AI or who does not. So is there any solution for this? Because actually this is like this is alarming here in my profession, and a lot of students are doing this.
Okay, let me tell you something. what's the difference between machine learning and human? This
Yeah.
is, if you understand the question between both of them, you will easily identify the difference. To simplify things, like 99% of the persons or the people right now is using like AI mail app, like Canary AI or Superhuman or whatever it is up there. So each day I open my mailbox and I find like 1,000 email. I open each one of them, and the mail is very long. It's so sophisticated and it's so polite, and eventually it's
Yeah.
meaningless. Like the kind of information into like a 20,
That's
20
clear.
sentences, like a couple of words or something like that. Come on, just
Yeah.
go straight to the point. Even me, I'm using AI app just to simplify the email. I don't have time to read all that, and I know it's rubbish.
Exactly.
It's end of rubbish. And this is the way how to identify the difference between human and machines. Machine will always give you the perfect answer, but human, we're creative. We're not looking for perfection. Even if when we are even when we are trying to reach the perfection in our work, you will find the human touch. You will find the human feeling into the words itself. You will find what is that, the meaning behind the sentence itself. But machine will always put you a lot of sentence. It's nonsense. It's just over there just to complete structure.
Exactly.
And by the way, this is one of the algorithms that there's a lot of applications that detect whether it's an AI generated or a human content writer or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they detect that by the amount of rubbish sentence behind the word. I swear to God. And another thing that they can detect on it, like machine is always trying to find a sophisticated words behind the scene. They are not using it because they don't, like, it's machine learning. It's not AI. Come on. So
yeah,
you don't have the ability to think and create from nothing the words. He just tried to imitate the words that you want to say, and that's it. So it's very easy to, and I'm pretty sure like Muhammad, you can catch the sheet sheeter over there. So yeah.
Yeah,
there are also a lot of questions. There are also a lot of questions in the chat as well. I'm trying to keep up as much as I can. It's one of the important questions over there. Someone wants to ask if it's good to contribute in open source translation projects. And what does that have to do with also how we are teaching, or we are crowdsourcers to teach these models, these machine learning models, and for free, actually?
Okay. First of all, whether you participate or didn't participate, it doesn't make a difference. Like, even anyways, all your data is online, and AI have a tremendous amount of data over there to learn from it. And so it's better for you to go with the flow and participate and just get benefit of it. But this is not the right question. The right question is that, from my own perspective, of course, it's not about participation or not. It's about how to not to go with the flow or to get benefit of the AI, how to have the upper hand of the AI, even if I am the one who's feeding the AI, or even if I am the one who is giving the prompt to the AI, how to be always have like how to put my touch on AI. This is the right question. And as I said, and as I will always say, if AI have all the knowledge that we have all together, AI will never able to replace your creativity. So my advice to you, be creative. That's just put your stamp on the paper itself. And that's by that only you will have a place in the future. Like, as for, let me tell you, like, over, like, for example, right now we have two kind of people. One is a handmade crafted and one is machinery crafted, right? And we have two kind of employee. One is working with his handmade stuff and another one is just observing the machine. Both of them benefit of the future. What's the difference between both of them? Both of them are creative. But one, he chooses to be creative enough in his handwork machine, handwork art. So he, where is it? He give you that product eventually that when you look at it, you feel it more than you like it. Machines never give you that feeling. Like when you buy a handmade bracelet or something like that, or a bag, you feel the maker on it, you feel his touch, you feel his emotion on it. On the other hand, the other employee, he's creative in his work, and of course he's observing the machine perfectly and he's doing it very, very well, and he gets use of that of this situation by having the control on the machine, so that so the machine will not gonna have any kind of glitch or any kind of flaw. So he's the one who is making the machine perfect, not the machine making it perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this answered the question somehow.
Such a beautiful answer, especially when we spoke about being perfect and not being perfect. And what makes humans is that one, they're not perfect. And second, and if they were perfect, they would be robotic. And second, it's the emotion that comes also with it. Also, you told me something that was very important. You compared the Tesla to the Mercedes, and said that Tesla actually has glitches all the time. So can you elaborate on this? Because this is something that's actually super important.
Yeah, this is another paradox in AI or machine learning. Like, as we've been saying, me and Dr. Muhammad, AI or machine learning, machinery, if all the machines in all the world, they can't give you the exact same outputs, even if it's a very simple inputs with so simple outputs. So Tesla, for example, it's like almost 100% machinery and it's working 24 hours. But it's barely hard enough to find two Tesla in the same product line have the same specification. They always had a flaw. They always got some kind of glitch or some kind of issue. And this is because machines always have a glitch. If we go back to how machine works, it's only 0 and 1. So if one kind of electricity pin just messed up, the whole production will mess up. And if the product itself moved an inch, that inch will move in the whole product. So that's why Teslas are not the same. But on the other hand, like for example, Mercedes-AMG, I don't know if you have this kind of information, but AMG, it's all handmade car from scratch, from bumper to bumper, it's handmade. Even the engine, even the gearbox, it's handmade, crafted. If you find the details, and I'm not comparing Mercedes to Tesla with the materials and all that. I don't want that talk. And don't tell me like this is what is that, a sophisticated, expensive brand, and this is like a commercial. No, it's not like that. I'm talking about like the quality itself and the amount of the amount of identicality itself. It's the same. Like if you own a Toyota, for example, and you broke your bumper, you will go to the nearest dealership and you will buy a bumper, you will put it on, you will go on the road, that's it, fine. But if you go to Tesla and you hit your bumper and you got a new bumper, bumpers are not the same. It won't fit perfectly. There's always some kind of gap. Maybe you're not going to notice, but there is a gap, there is a glitch. This is the human touch. Like while I'm observing the machine, if the product move like a meter I can move it back to the same exact place. Machine will not gonna understand that. I know there is a lot of production safety and a lot of this sweet talk and a lot of measurements and a lot. But eventually, it's machine, guys. It can't replace human intelligence or emotional intelligence that human got. So yeah, that's my answer.
Mustafa, I've been insisting on this because a lot of times they ask me whether translators will be one day actually replaced by AI, and I always like answer like it's not like in my lifetime, because I don't want to stay at home without getting paid or getting any professional. Actually, I totally agree with that. It will never have the same, like, I like the expression that you use, identicality. And this also pushes me to tell some, it's not like an advice, like, but more of a recommendation to all junior translators, interpreters, linguists. When you are taking your first steps into the industry market, into translation and interpreting market, it's very important not to depend on artificial intelligence, because actually
Exactly.
you are taking your first steps. So it's very important to show up your identity. This is your day, this is your
Yeah.
first step, in order to make sure you are qualified enough. Because actually one day you depended on artificial intelligence, you are perfect. It's very simple, it's very easy, and actually it's for free. But when you apply for a job at the United Nations, the European Union, or any international organization, you will never be allowed to use AI. So you will, or your actual level in language will be on table. You every single time depend on artificial intelligence. You didn't leave any space or any room for your actually human translation, which is way much better than AI translation. So I think this is more of a recommendation than advice, because we meet a lot of a lot of disasters
Just let me add
in the industry markets.
a few tips regarding this. The problem is not depend on AI or not depend on AI, but let me put it in another word. The problem is uh, before AI exists and before Google exists, people go to books to read to understand.
Yeah,
Like for example, if you don't
yeah,
know meaning of a thing or a new word that you don't know its meaning, so you go to the dictionary, open the dictionary, and you look for it, and you start to understand the exact meaning of that word in order for you to put it in your translation. So by that, you gain a lot. You understand what you're typing, of course, and you look into the dictionary, you learn the new things, and you know what's the origin of these words, and you
yeah,
done your homework perfectly. And after that,
exactly.
they invented Google, and Google came out of nowhere, out of the sky. So you start inventing Google, you just type the word, you got the word meaning, and you put it. And this is the problem started. You're not understanding what's happening behind the scene. Like, like when you have a problem, you start go deeper and deeper into the problem and try to simplify that problem for yourself
Yeah,
and look for the answer, and you take that piece of puzzle and put it to complete your problem solving. And that's not happening right now. Right now, you just Google it and you take the answer and you just copy paste the answer and just put it just like that. And it's getting worse because of AI. You just ask the AI and the AI give you the straightforward answer. You don't even have to look into different resources.
it's
And this
making
is
it's
the
making
problem.
people lazy. It's
This
making
is the
people lazy.
problem.
Yeah,
It's not about being
exactly.
lazy. It's about being stupid.
Yeah,
Because what's make us smarter than machine, that we look into different resources and we learn from these resources and we put our own mind into the field that we're working on it. But what's happening right now, that people start depending on machine learning or AI as this is the word of truth and the only word of truth. And
yeah,
this is a huge problem, especially in critical fields in translation, like into
exactly.
legal translation or medical translation. Imagine that you're translating like a medical certificate or a prescription or something like that, and there is some kind of disease that machine don't know about it, or it's a new disease that they didn't feed it to the machine yet. So machine will give you another answer that it's out of the word. And because of your lack of understanding and your trust into the machinery, you will take that answer and just put it in your translation. And your translation will go into some kind of, what is that, department that it depends on it. And they take it up and they take that translation as the word of truth because you are a certified translator supposed to, right?
Exactly.
This is the problem gonna happen. Same as for a legal translation is gonna be happening the same. So what I'm trying to tell you eventually, because I think most of people lost, machine learning or AI, it's a very wonderful and powerful tool, but don't let them control your life.
Yeah.
Let the machine learning help you to make your life easier. Instead of learning into a lot of resources, just ask the machine that question and ask it to give you a different resources, not from his own perspective, and compare that resources that he give you. Just use the machine learning as a searching tool more than a word of truth, if you say so.
So this is wonderful.
Wow.
So actually, it's like you said, it's a tool. So it's like a complementary thing. It's not a substitute. So this is one statement to work on, start on. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much, Mustafa.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Very important insights, really. And I was so excited for that discussion. Well, I know that we are a little bit let's say we were not ending on time, but I will have to ask you one last question, and then I will give it back to Nancy. So, and my last question is, now with the field of AI, machine learning, and all that, there are still new developments that you spoke about, just like, for example, prompt engineering. You also told me about another concept, which is machine learning agents or something. What are some new things that we still haven't heard of very frequently, but that's coming in the upcoming like days, months?
Okay. First of all, like machine learning, it's a very wild global word. Let's put it like that. Like the story or the scenario behind machine learning, it's a very large model, and that large model have a lot of tremendous amount of data in all fields, and we ask it and it's give you that answer among all that kind of data. But now they are trying to simplify things to use less computing power and of course to give you a more straightforward answer. And here's come the AI agent or machine learning or artificial intelligence agent. And this is like a small learning model, but it's a specific learning model. That specific learning model in a specific learning field. Like for example, if you go to most of websites right now, you'll find that chat little bar down there. It will pop up and he say, "Hi, I'm your agent. How may I help you?" That AI, if you ask him any kind of question regarding his website or the service that they are offering, he will answer you definitely perfectly fine. But if you ask him any kind of question out of scope of that, he will tell you, "I'm so sorry, I'm not gonna able to answer that kind of question." And this is what's coming nowadays. Like this learning big machine models will start to crack into small pieces that it's each kind of them is specified into a small product, if you say so. And it's what is that? It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It will give you more straight answer, and of course, it will be like what is that? More easier for people to understand and deal with it because it will require more prompt engineering for you to get a more precise answer. This is one thing. And there's another topic, like one of the audience I saw this question. They've been talking about machine learning and the deep learning, and this is another story and another topic that we may speak about it. But what's gonna happen, or what's gonna coming into couple of years or couple of months, is that you will find all your application that you're using machine learning will be controlling it, from mail to chat to search to whatever kind of application that you're using, to PDF. Everything will start using machine, as it's the trend right now. And everyone think that, like, if they implemented that machine learning or AI model into their application, it will be selling more. So yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Thank you so much to your insightful and creative talk. As
Thank you,
we
Nancy.
wrap up our discussion, I look forward to continue later this conversation soon. I have just one note to share regarding your discussion. Did you notice the AI companion tool in Zoom? When you click AI companion, and then you will see catch me up. If you choose to catch me up, it showed the meeting minutes of meeting.
Whoa.
It didn't mention, yeah, it's a great tool. But it didn't, I noticed that it didn't mention me, because I forgot to introduce myself maybe. So this highlights our point of view. Yeah.
Exactly.
While
We would like
AI
to include you in the minutes.
make our life easier, it won't turn everything upside down, as you might imagine.
I'm so sorry, Nancy, to
So,
interrupt you. I just want to say like a final word to all the audience. Just don't afraid of the future. Just take the future into your advantage, and just to break things up and to conclude everything that we spoke about today. We are human. Nothing can replace us. We are the one who creating the AI or machine learning or whatever it is.
but
And
the AI is the student that can supersede his teacher. Maybe it's our fault. Sorry.
no, it's not like that. But
We are teaching them.
Yeah,
let me tell you
I
something.
totally agree with that.
Let me tell you something. There is something that machine learning or AI will never be able to replace you. If you want to have your breakfast coffee and you have time, you will go to do it on the stove. Will never taste the same as the coffee machine. This is simply the difference between machines and humans. We are humans. We have feeling, we have emotional, we have intelligent, emotional intelligence, and we have creativity. This is what's make us different. This is what's make us human. Nothing can replace you. Just don't live in the Stone Age. Just try to take every and each thing in your advantage, and just try to elevate your productivity through machine learning and not go through it. That's it. Thank you
So,
for
Mustafa, one question before you go. Do you
sure.
prefer handmade coffee or machine coffee?
No, for me,
Because
I
next
don't.
time when we meet
Inshallah,
when we
inshallah,
meet,
for sure.
I'll I'll make a cup of coffee, of course, and of course it's handmade.
Oh, no, I like to do my own coffee. I don't like to depend on machine for my own taste.
Yeah, exactly. Handmade are the best.
So
Thank
yeah,
you so much for this, Mustafa, for
thank you
this.
so very. I'm so glad to be with you today. It's a very wonderful evening, and the talk regarding this with those wonderful people will never end. And we need like a tremendous amount of time to speak. And unfortunately, as Nancy said, like we're gonna run out of time, and it's beyond even the scheduling. But if it's very, very interesting that for you, we can do like more lectures, and we can do more chit chat together as a friends maybe, and we can join together to
Sure.
discuss more in the future. And
That's a
thank
pleasure.
you for having me as part of you, and thank you Apex for hosting this wonderful evening. And nighty night for everyone. See you later, I hope, and see
See
you
you,
in
Mustafa.
webinars.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really a huge thank you, everyone. And to echo Mustafa, actually, if you remember all those handmade products, now they are more expensive than any other
Yeah,
commercial product.
exactly.
So,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true.
so
That's true. And even though, let me tell you further, like the word that you write by yourself, it will still and will be forever more valuable
yours.
than the machine generated text. So don't worry, just depend on your creativity and believe in yourself. This is the most important thing. Like machine will never be able to write poetry and will never able to translate poetry. This is the most
Exactly.
important thing. Machine will never able to translate feeling. Machine can only translate words, but not feeling. And
Yeah,
you are full of
exactly.
feeling and full of emotions.
Happened.
You're muted, Nancy.
Okay.
Uh, it's okay now. You're yeah, you're muted, Nancy.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
She's on mute, but actually I think the mic can be a problem.
Yeah, maybe she have an AI technical problem.
That's
Here we go.
every single time. That's what I'm talking about. Every single time AI and that technical issues still happen.
AI is fighting us.
Yeah, that's a bad omen. Yeah, I insist on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Just don't depend on technology that much. There's always a
Yeah,
glitch.
exactly.
Especially
Exactly.
you guys who own Tesla, don't put it on autopilot. It's a disaster. If you know how it works, you will never put it on autopilot. So don't depend on autopilot. This is for your own safety and for what is that? This is your own life. Don't underestimate it. It's easy. It's good. It's a luxury to have an autopilot, but don't depend on it. Always depend on you.
Yeah. We need you in one piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay now.
It was a technical glitch.
Yeah, again, every single
Definitely our
time.
guest.
Yeah, like Carlos said, only a human can fix a glitch.
Yes. And I'm excited, by the way, to announce the launch of Swalti, which will focus on providing training for legal translators and interpreters. Me and Elsa. This initiative aims to pave the way for those aspiring to become sworn or certified translators and
Wow.
interpreters, as well as court interpreters by combining legal and translation skills with interpretation skills. Elsa, could you please share your thoughts regarding that?
Well, it's going to be something very, very exciting. It's going to be a very immersive experience where also we will learn not just how to translate, but a lot of things will come into play. The little hidden stuff. There are things that and some particularities that we will be delving into. Um, Actually, I will be one of the first students to enroll in the class because I'm very interested to know more, to learn more about legal here in the UAE. My expertise is more in interpreting, especially in conference interpreting. So this is the thing and this is the value that I will be able to
For me,
provide.
I'll teach legal translation and we can share our expertise together and qualify court interpreters.
Yes,
So
and this will
if
be
you
also
want,
in partnership with
if you want to
ASJ and
be fluent,
CIOL. So it's like it's
yeah,
going to be big.
yeah. And it will be our product. It will not be just like a workshop or a webinar or a course or something like that. It's a product.
No
And
AI involved.
no, we will. I love using AI or machine learning tools. Yeah, the technologies. I love technology and I'm engaging them in my life, in my daily life, in my daily work. So they are good. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely night. Thank you all. And reminder, if you want, if you would like to receive a CPD certificate, please respond to our email that you will receive later today from events@apex9.com to confirm your attendance. Certificate will be sent within 2 weeks, inshallah. Okay, thank you, and have a lovely night and happy International Translation Day again.
Thank you, Nancy, and I appreciate everyone for attending and have a lovely night. And happy Apex anniversary.
Yes, sure.
Part of the Apex, I'm not a translator, so I'm so sorry. I'm just on my own side. Thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, Yusra. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, Michael May sent you hi because he tried to join us, but he couldn't, unfortunately. So hi, everyone, and happy International
I
Translation
was
Day.
so curious to debate with Mike, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah. We lost
Yesterday, when I was like hearing him talking about the AI and all that, and I was like, oh, finally, I got a competitor that he'll talk with me regarding this. But yeah, I will catch up with him later. So
Yeah, and
Can you
I
speak
send
about
you
the
the
CPD
catch-up
again,
message of
Nancy?
AI Companion from Zoom. I send you all through emails, so you can decide. Okay.
Someone asked again about the CPD and the certificates, I think.
Yeah. I send you. I send them an email later today. They will receive. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone. I was very happy to have to be here
Mhm.
with you, and it's really, really nice.
Bye bye.